Hey guys, Obs Over the Water here, bringing you what used to be my 100 sub special, but since my upload to Pokemon Pit Main, it went up another 100 in one single day. So now this is going to have to be my 200 sub special. Here celebrating my 200 subscribers is a good friend of mine. Let's welcome Cortex Nebula 200, otherwise known as Arcena.
Hey there, Zabuza. Great to be here.
Great to have you.
So, what are we doing today?
A lot of my viewers have been asking how I make my Little Cup teams, so I thought I could show them with a video. You up for it?
Yep, let's do it.
Cool. Let's start by looking at some of the stats overall. First off, I assume you already know how battling works with EVs, IVs, and such. Okay, so Little Cup stats aren't like regular stats in NU, OU, etc. They're distributed differently, and that can be used to your advantage.
That's right. Unlike in regular tiers, like NU and OU as mentioned, Little Cup has its own metagame of Pokemon at all at level 5. You can't simply dump 252 EVs in attack and 252 in speed and you're good to go. I mean, that might get you so far if you're lucky, but you're just wasting EVs. I learned this the hard way when I was creating my first Little Cup Pokemon, I believe like around 4 to 5 months back, and I was thinking the same thing until I experimented. I was looking at an Abra and didn't know 236 was equal to 252 for a while, and while Smogon told me to put 236, I thought I was being clever making it 252, but it hadn't changed from when it was 236.
I had a similar experience, but let me show you guys an example using Pokemon Online's Team Builder. Looking at this Riolu, I'll go ahead and put some EVs into his HP and watch what happens.
Wait, where the hell did you get that remote from?
I found it somewhere.
Uh-huh. Anyways, you guys see how once the Riolu's HP hits 23, it wouldn't rise anymore?
That's just about all stats are like this. Very rarely will you find a Little Cup Pokemon whose stat just so happens to be maxed out at 252 EVs.
How about we make a set for this little guy? Maybe a physical attacker?
Sure. Let's make it max speed and max attack. Looks like we only have to put 196 EVs to max its attack. And it looks like the same goes for its speed.
Well, we've maxed out its attack and speed already and still have 116 EVs to work with. So what are we gonna do with them?
I got an idea. How about we put it here in its defense? If you look, it just barely reaches 12 defense when you put in 116 EVs.
Great, now we can work on the item and move sets.
I don't think so.
What? Wait, what do you mean? We've finished the stats now so we can move on, right?
Well, depending on the movesets and items we choose, we may have to make changes to the stats.
Alright, so what did you have in mind?
Well, let's talk about the stats in a little more detail. Think about if we wanted to attach a Life Orb to give it a boost. Each time it attacks, it's going to lose 2 HP per turn, so I'm going to change that.
Oh, I see where you're going. You're going to lower its HP IVs to reduce the Life Orb recoil.
Exactly. I'm going to reduce it to 19 HP, and because Life Orb does 1/10 recoil damage rounding down, it's only going to take 1 damage of recoil each time.
Well, although they give us the benefit of doubt by rounding it down and not rounding it up, I don't really like the idea of losing HP every turn plus attack damage. I'd rather we have it get HP back. How about an Orange Berry?
Okay, sounds good. Since you want more HP, let's move those 116 defense EVs to HP. You know, because Leftovers only recovers 1/16 HP, about 1 HP per turn in Little Cup, an Orange Berry would probably be the far better choice.
Oh, speaking of choice, how about a choice set?
Alright, but that means we gotta mess with the speed EVs a bit.
Alright. Wait, do we need to change the nature too?
Well, it depends.
On what?
We gotta decide how fast we want to make this guy. It can hit 16 speed with a positive nature and 15 speed without it. In Little Cup, you and I both know that what a Pokemon needs is to be at least 16 speed to be considered fast. Unless it's Scarfed, and it needs to be 18 to 19 speed if you want it to outspeed just about everything.
What about 20 and higher?
20 is the highest stat any Little Cup Poke can get without boosting, and above 20, we're getting into what I like to call the boosting zone.
Cause no Pokemon can reach above 20 speed without being scarfed or boosting, right? I still want to run a choice set, but an agility set could work the same and we won't need to invest as much in speed.
True. For an agility set, we need a minimum of 11 speed, so it hits 22. It can outspeed Scarf users at 14. 12 speed lets us speed tie with most Scarf Sweepers and 13 speed will outspeed just about everything that doesn't have a stat of 18 speed or higher and is scarfed. But since you want to stick with a choice set, how about 16 speed so it can sweep?
Well, I don't really want to sweep with it. How about, let's say around 14, 15 speed, probably 14. That'll give me enough to outspeed all the unscarfed tier, and I can put those leftover speed EVs, how much ever they are, somewhere else and change it to a positive attacking nature.
Alright, let's change it to an adamant nature and put those last EVs in HP. This will max out its HP at the same time.
Great, now we're done, right?
I guess.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know. I see Ryolu gets Prankster as its Dream World ability, and I think it's kind of a waste not to do something with it.
I guess we can make a set based on that, but because you want to do it, I will do it on one and only one condition.
What?
I want to use the remote.
Fine, here, take it.
Great, let's try a defensive step then.
How are we gonna start?
How about the defenses?
Alright. Well, we'll need at least 12 defense and special defense for it to be considered bulky. Unfortunately, Ryolu only hits 14 defense, which means that it can't wall any physical attacks. For that, it would have to hit at least 18 defense for that to matter. Anything below 12 can't really be considered defensive or especially defensive.
And you can only get away with 12 to be bulky and 18 to wall because of the introduction of a Violite, right?
Right. Otherwise, you would need to have a defense stat of 17 to 18.
I got an idea. Why don't we make it specially defensive?
That sounds interesting, but I don't like the lack of defense. Instead of that gimmicky roar set, why don't we make this guy a bulk up set? That way we can set up with Prankster without having to get hit first.
Oh, I see. That way we can get some good special defense and boost the lacking defense. But where does that leave us with the attack stat?
Well, because it's a Prankster set, we won't need speed, so if we invest 196 special defense and 116 in its HP and defense, that means we can put what's left in attack.
Which, by my calculation, should give us around 14, right? That doesn't sound like a very good attack stat.
Normally you'd be right. An attack or special attack stat needs to be at least 16 or more for that Pokemon to be considered offensive, but this Ryolu will be one of the exceptions.
I do not get what you mean.
Here's what I mean. Since we're giving it bulk up, when it uses it, its attack will get boosted by 1.5, right?
Right.
And we give it an attack stat of 14, right?
Yeah.
So what's 14 times 1.5?
Okay, I'm not too good with math, but if I'm right, it'll be 21, which means it'll be over 16 attack, and we will be able to start smashing stuff to pieces.
Exactly.
Okay, I see it now. It's kind of like a speed stat. If you want to be a boosting attacker, you need at least 14 attack for it to be really worth it. That is, unless you have a +2 boosting move like Swords Dance, then you only need 11 or more attack.
Kind of, yeah. Lastly, here's what I'm thinking for the moveset. Drain Punch for stab recovery, Bulk Up for its attack and defense boosts, and Copycat for its priority move. But I'm blanking on the 4th move slot.
If you can't think of it, what makes you think I can? Alright, give me a second. Let's see. Not this, not that. How about Crunch for coverage?
Genius. So, I'm happy with this set. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go test it out.
You're on.
Good God, we created a monster!
Feels good, doesn't it?
I guess. Well, I think that just about wraps this up. Would you say so?
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Well, this was fun. Let's do it again sometime. I'll see you later, Zabuza. Peace.
See ya, Arcena. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my 200 sub special, and thanks to Arcena for helping me out with it. Make sure to check out his channel in the description and sub. That's it from me. I hope you guys have a great day. Comment, rate, subscribe, and challenge.